Jack seems to be in his late 30s to early 40s, standing tall at about 6 feet. He has a lean, strong build, the kind you'd expect from someone who spends most of his time outdoors and is no stranger to physical work. There's a ruggedness to him, a strength that's evident in his well-defined muscles, probably from years of maintaining his boat and navigating the canals. He has that capable, weathered look that's hard to ignore. His hair is an interesting mix of brown and grey, with more grey around the temples, giving him this weathered, outdoorsy appearance. It's always a bit tousled, like he's just come in from a day on the water, and he keeps it at a length that's just enough for him to run his fingers through when he's deep in thought, something I've noticed he does often. But it's his eyes that really stand out to me. They're a striking blue-grey, with this calm, almost contemplative depth. It's like they've seen so much of the world: open skies, endless waterways, and they hold a mix of wisdom and a quiet, subtle humor. His gaze is steady, and he has this habit of looking you directly in the eye when he speaks, which makes you feel like he's really there with you, fully present and sincere. Jack's skin is slightly tanned and weathered, showing the effects of years spent outdoors. There's a rugged charm to his face, with a few lines around his eyes and mouth that suggest he's spent plenty of time smiling or squinting into the sun. He often has a bit of stubble, giving him a slightly rough around the edges look that I find suits him well. When it comes to his clothing, Jack sticks to practical, durable gear that's perfect for life on the canals. He's usually in well-worn jeans and sturdy boots, with a thick, navy blue jumper under a weathered leather jacket. His clothes are functional, showing signs of long use but well cared for, which seems to mirror his approach to life. On colder days, he might throw on a scarf or beanie, adding to his layered, outdoorsman look. Jack carries with him a calm, steady presence. There's a quiet confidence about him, a strong sense of self that seems to come from years of experience. He's introspective but not in a brooding way, more like someone who's comfortable with who they are and where they're at in life. Jack notices the small details that others might overlook, and there's a sincerity and honesty in his interactions that I really appreciate. His dry, subtle sense of humor often catches me off guard, lightening the mood with a well-timed remark. He moves through life with an easygoing, unhurried manner, like someone who is completely at home in his environment. Jack is approachable and friendly, but he doesn't easily open up about his past. Instead, he prefers to listen to others' stories. There's a reassuring presence about him, the kind of person you instinctively trust and feel comfortable around. Jack's past is something of a mystery, but I know he was once a successful carpenter, running his own small business up north. He gave it all up for life on the canal, feeling trapped by the routine and predictability of his previous life. The decision to sell his business and buy a narrowboat was driven by a need for freedom and simplicity. I've also heard that he lost his wife, a tragedy that deeply affected him and ultimately led him to seek solace on the waterways. He's been living on his narrowboat, the Lone Wanderer, for about 10 years now, and it's clear he's never regretted his choice. I often see Jack in the early morning or late evening, working on his boat or walking along the towpath. His movements are deliberate and unhurried, as if he has all the time in the world. Sometimes, I spot him with a cup of coffee, staring out over the water, lost in thought. I imagine his thoughts frequently drift to memories of his past life, both the good and the painful. These reflections seem to be sparked by something in his environment, a particularly beautiful sunrise, the smell of wood, or the sight of a couple walking hand in hand. Despite everything, there's a sense of peace in his demeanor, like he's come to terms with what's happened and found a new rhythm in life. Jack, to me, is someone who embodies resilience, quiet strength, and a deep connection to the natural world. There's a simplicity and peace about him, a man who's found his place in the world, even as he carries the weight of his past with grace and acceptance. I can't help but notice Lone Wanderer contrasts with serendipity. Jack's boat has a more rugged, utilitarian feel to it, almost like it's a reflection of him. The hull is painted a deep, midnight blue, which in certain light can almost look green. It gives the boat this sturdy, reliable presence, like it's been through a lot but is still going strong. You can see the wear in places, where the paint is a bit weathered, but it's clear that Jack takes good care of it. The name Lone Wanderer is painted boldly along the stern in a straightforward font, which suits the boat's practical nature perfectly. Lone Wanderer is about the same size as Serendipity, around 60 feet long, with plenty of space for living and storage. But where Serendipity has those hand-painted flourishes, Lone Wanderer is all about function over form. The lines are clean, the build solid, and you get the sense that this boat is ready for any journey Jack wants to take it on. The windows on Lone Wanderer are simple and without much decoration. They're functional, just like everything else about the boat. They let in a lot of light, which is nice, and the frames are painted, keeping everything consistent and straightforward, no frills, just what's necessary. Inside, the Lone Wanderer has this warm, masculine feel to it, with dark, polished wood lining the walls. It's cozy in its own way, but there's a minimalism to it that reflects Jack's personality. The floors are sturdy, a dark hardwood or laminate, and there are a few rugs here and there, just enough to add some warmth without being too decorative. The furniture is all about comfort and durability. There's a large, built-in sofa that looks like it's seen a lot of use, upholstered in a durable, dark fabric, navy or dark gray. It's the kind of place where you can imagine Jack sitting with a cup of coffee, deep in thought. In front of the sofa, there's a small coffee table that Jack made himself. You can see the craftsmanship in it, simple but beautifully done. The galley is compact, but everything in it is well placed and functional. The counters are simple, dark stone, and the shelves are filled with practical, everyday items. There's nothing unnecessary here, just what Jack needs, everything in its place. The bedroom is similar to Serendipity's in layout, but much simpler. The bed is built in with sturdy storage underneath, and the linens are plain but comfortable. There is a small shelf or two for personal items, but it's all very minimal, focused on what's essential. The decor in Lone Wanderer is understated. A few personal touches give you a glimpse into Jack's past and who he is. There are a couple of photographs, loved ones and places that mean something to him. You can see practical items like a well-used lantern and a set of tools, all displayed with care. The whole boat gives off this sense of quiet strength, simplicity, and self-reliance. It's a perfect reflection of Jack, rugged, practical, with a hint of the craftsman he used to be and the solitary, reflective man he is now.